What's up, y'all, and welcome to my channel. I'm basically here to talk about how I started my clothing brand, LynOetry. So I'm gonna just get straight to it. Not finna waste y'all's time. I'm not finna have y'all here looking at me for 50 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Whew. How did I start? Oh yeah, with the name. So first off, I was in I moved to Las Vegas, and about 4 years ago, and I was like, I want to start a clothing brand, and I love clothes, you know what I'm saying? I love fashion and everything like that. So when I got that in my head, I just started thinking like, okay, so what should I name it? So I started thinking like, what am I into? I'm into dancing, I'm into music, I'm into poetry, and I was like, poetry. I really like to write too, so I started thinking like, okay, let's see, what can I do with that? What can I do with that? Poetry. My middle name is Lynn. Well, I kind of want my name inside the clothing brand I want to start. So I kind of put them together, and that's how I made the name LynOetry. Perfect, right? Oh, I love telling people that. Anyways, after I came up with the name, the next thing I had to do was come up with the logo. So I was thinking like, okay, I got the idea. I want the logo to be notebook paper, and I want a pin of a feather right in the middle of the O. So I went to my local t-shirt printing company. I talked to a guy, and he made me talk to his like illustrator and everything like that, and we both sat down, and I'm like, I want you guys to make my logo. At first they didn't know how to say the name, and I was like, okay, can you make the O bigger so it could be LynOetry, so it was easier to pronounce? And they're like, oh, okay, we can do that, so that's exactly how that happened. And as soon as I got the name, and I'm like, okay, and it cost $75, which it wasn't bad. $75 to keep the name. Look, that was 4 years ago. That's the best $75 I ever spent. So you're going to put money into your clothing brand if you guys are trying to start one. I told them, I'm like, can you guys, print me a few shirts? I wanted, I believe, like 2 different colors. And they're like, okay, we can do that. Now they kind of messed up, which I don't see how they messed up, because they made the logo right there in their company. So they said my brand was kind of difficult. But I'm like, you guys kind of created it, so I mean, I'll put extra money if it's that hard of a work. That's how much I believed in my, my brand. So they printed a shirt, and they kind of gave it to me for free because they messed up about like 3 times. You know what? I'm gonna just show you real quick. Hold on. Boy, y'all look good. All right now. So wait, this is actually the shirt right here. I wanted the notebook paper. Anybody see any notebook paper? No, we don't see any notebook paper. So he just gave me that shirt, and I was like, okay, got another shirt. And it eventually got to the point where he made it like this. You can see the notebook paper now, it's way better from the first one I showed you. I wish I had the other 2 shirts, but I don't know where they went. Yeah, I don't know where they went. I had only made like, 2 of them. I wanted to sample it out. I wanted to wear it around, see if people like, what I was wearing. Because I never really had to actually tell people, oh, I have a clothing brand, this is it. I wanted to be able to walk around and people were like, oh, that's a nice shirt. And I'm like, it is, ain't it? Boom, here's my card, you know what I'm saying? Just check it out. Order something if you like it, and if you don't, then just keep it pushing. Most of the time I will walk around, with my clothes, and people will really like what I got on. And they're like, oh, I really like that, it's different. Like, how do you pronounce it? They always ask, how do you pronounce it? I'm like, what, try it. And they get it every time. So that's another thing, is as soon as you get your shirts, you have to market it, you know, or if you know, want to give some to your friends and stuff like that. But I'll suggest you market yourself. When I moved to Vegas, I didn't know anybody. I also made hats. I made one hat for me, and when I had that hat on, I rocked it like almost every day, and people were just like, man, I need a hat. I need a hat. You know what I'm saying? And they were just like, it looks nice. You know, where'd you get that hat from? I'll let them know it's my brand, but I didn't really have any more hats. So I didn't make that many. I was just trying them out. Okay, so when you have your name, you want to research. You want to make sure nobody has that name. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the same name out there. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so you got your logo and you got your shirts made and everything like that. And next is basically, I'll say, like the copywritten, you know, before you start really getting like the website up and really like promoting it, and your stuff starts getting bigger. When your stuff starts getting bigger, you know, I started to I copyrighted my name. I had someone tell me, you don't need to be focused on your clothes, you need to focus on something else, because I wasn't making money. I'm like, what? No, this is what I want to do. And I make at least $100 a month, and that may not be a lot to people, but I used to make $0 a month. So that's a big improvement for me. So I kept moving up, you know, and I didn't really listen to them. And if I would have stopped then when they told me to, I wouldn't be here now. Yeah, so you come up with the name, you come up with the logo, find a manufacturer to do your clothes. And I prefer a manufacturer if you're starting out with locals, you know, local stores, local t-shirt printing shops. I know people go online to like custom print and everything like that, but I think when you're face to face to somebody, you can really explain what you really want. So definitely go to like a local shop. Okay, wait, look, I want to show y'all a couple things. Also, be creative with your clothing brand. Once again, this is, you know, a feather pen. It represents my brand perfectly. Perfectly. Get things that represent your brand. If you're going to make a brand, make sure it represents what you do. You know, I'm not finna be talking about football and, you know, making football designs, and it has nothing to do with my clothing brand, you know. Another thing that I did was I had created a character, you know. Well, I went and I talked to someone who draws really good, and they made my cartoon character for me. This kind of resembles my clothing brand. Come on, open up. Kind of see on, there you go. It's on a notebook paper. He got dreadlocks. He's meditating. It's perfect, you know. It's just perfect. My brand is just, I freaking love it, and I love that I did this. And yeah, subscribe. That's everything right there, y'all. Subscribe, like, comment, and share.